All right. Today I just wanted to show all of you guys these really cool high-res color illustrations that are in my hardcover book, Forestera's Fate. This is the first book that I've ever written, self-published it on Amazon, and I then narrated it on my channel. It's a D&D fantasy story. If you are a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, I think you'll really enjoy it. A 9-year-old boy has read this book and my second book. I've written two, and loved them. 12-year-old has read them and really enjoyed them too. And adults. I have several, only very few sales. I have not sold hardly any of these books at all. They mostly just sit on Amazon, unfortunately. As my cat comes into the picture, wants to see what I'm doing. This is Flick. Yeah, hi. What you doing? What you doing? So, he's very curious, obviously. Uh, I have like 4 reviews, written reviews on Amazon that talks about the book, and they're all positive. So I'm hoping you guys will check it out. But I'm also hoping you'll listen to my narration on my channel. If you just click on playlist, you'll see Forestera's Fate Book 1 and Forestera's Fate Book 2. But the purpose of this video is I want to show you these really cool illustrations. I'm just lost for words right now. First, I'm going to show them to you. They're in black and white, and they're in color, but regular paper. The black and white illustrations, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you, the book cost. So in the black and white, it's much less expensive because you don't have to pay for the color, and that's how they look on black and white. This book sells for $23 and on Amazon. That's their cost. The others are much more expensive, but they've discounted them, which is something that Amazon chose to do. So here's the low-res color picture. So you saw the black and white. So this is just regular paper. I used a higher quality paper with the hardcover, which makes it even more expensive. This book, if you go on Amazon, you'll see. I will have links in the description to my books, to the books on Amazon, and to my narration. This says $45. Fortunately for me, Amazon has discounted it because it's not selling 23%. So it's now $32, which is much better. And if you get the one with the black and white images, it's just $23. So that's a lot better. But this one, the hardcover book, so this is a hardbound. This sells for a ridiculous amount on Amazon. Whoops, wrong one. Let me get to the page. I had the page marked. There we go. So that's the difference between a high-res and a low-res illustration. Their retail price is $86. I only make like $4 if somebody purchases it. They also discounted this one by 23%, both of them. So now it's $66. That's a lot better than $86. So if you're interested in a book that has high-res photos like this, then feel free. But I'm going to show you all of the illustrations that are in this book. I'm so glad I have a hardcover copy for myself. This is basically a picture of the party at the tavern, talking about where they're going to go adventuring. It's kind of like, when you begin D&D, you meet up and you discuss plans and stuff. I really like the way she drew all of this. It's just a beautiful illustration. So I'm going to show you now the rest of the illustrations that are in this book, and just to show them off because they really are amazing. So this is the Sacred Shrine, hence the title of the book, The Sacred Shrine in the Valley of Caves. She came up with this all on her own. I mean, I described it to her, but I didn't realize, I wasn't expecting all of this on top. But this is pretty much kind of like how I described it down there. And she just did a great job drawing it. It's all digital art, for those of you who are wondering. All right, so that's that one. Then we have, this is Dalma. I'm not going to tell you anything about these characters. I'm just going to let you see what they look like. Like I said, I narrated this whole book, and so you'll be able to you can listen to it without any problem. Now, my book is written in an unorthodox way. I wanted to mention this. It's kind of written in the style of a play. You see how it says here, it'll say Latia, and then there's a colon, and then that's what she's saying. And in parentheses, I interject. So he says here, Tenneth says, going for the generic prayer tonight, huh? He said with a smile. So this is my own style that I created on my own. I didn't want to use quotes. I didn't want to constantly use quotes every time someone talked. So this is just how I did it. So it kind of reads like a play. So it's a little unorthodox. Well, it's very unorthodox. But I hope you'll at least listen to the narration. I've gotten pretty nice comments on the narration. Is that the next picture? Is there nothing else before that? I thought there was another one before. Okay, I guess not. There's the first video is kind of like a session 0. I call it my introductory video. It's not in the book. So this is just a creature that's in the story, and you can see someone's up there on top. And then here is a close-up version of that. This is probably her most impressive illustration that she did. Very, very cool. Don't want to say any more about it. Okay. And then here is Kish. And now most of the illustrations are from characters in the adventuring party, not all. So I will say that this Kish, I want to say Kish is not in the adventuring party. But I decided to make an illustration of her because I really like her in the story. I like the character. Then we have these two, which I don't even say the names on here. I just left it as blank for people to look at. Then here is Sheila. I love the way she drew Sheila. The green coming from her hands is just to show that she has magical power. That's all. So like if you're a wizard or a cleric, she'll show that through magic. Not necessarily every case, I think. I think there's one where she doesn't do that. All right, next one is right on the other page. Now this was her favorite one to draw. She enjoyed this one the most. This is Bale. And all I'll say about Bale is that the inspiration for this character that I came up with came from Terry Brooks's book, Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold. If you're looking for a really fun fantasy book to read, check out Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold. On the cover, you'll see a dog wearing glasses. So that was the inspiration for this character. Not the same, but similar. We'll just say similar. Okay, then we have Latia, and I just loved when she drew the hair the way she did. I described Latia to her as reddish blonde, and that's how she did it. And I think it's even better this way. I thought it was just amazing the way she drew Latia. So it's a very, very cool picture. And then we have Lightmane, which is also the name of my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is called Lightmane. So that's a very, very, these are all really, really cool pictures, and I really love the way she did them. All right, let me get this set down so I can grab the next one. Here is Ken Gilgrath. Don't want to say any more about him, but I think she drew him great. Love the details. Just an amazing looking illustration. And we have, well, we don't have to say what. This is Nightwind. Obviously, it's a dwarf. I don't have to point that out. But loved all the braided hair. Very, very cool the way she did it. Then who's next? Then we have Tenneth. So you can guess what Tenneth is. Feel free to guess. Trying to get it where you can see the whole thing. There we go. All right. Next is two people, two characters, Shinfia and Shingar. Love the way she drew both of these. I love how both of the girls, she really made them look very pretty, very good looking, and love the way she drew Shingar. Again, this is a creature that I created. This is my own creation. That glare is really annoying, isn't it? See, when I get like that, it just, the light from my phone does that. Really, really like how she drew these. So I like, there's a reason they're together too. All right, next one. This is Jack. Don't want to say anything about him, but you'll find out why he's dressed the way he is fairly early in the story. So that's kind of neat. Then we have Phileas. The glare off of him. There we go. So there's the magical power. That's all. That just shows that he can cast magic. And on the other page is Genevieve. It's funny because it looks like she has no arms, but basically her arms were behind her back, and that's just how she chose to draw her, and I was fine with it. But other than that, I think it's very, very beautiful drawing. All right, the next one is Belfin. Another very cool drawing. I love the angle with the sword. It's just neat the way she did it all. It looks very cool. And not last, but the last person. This is Raisha. Very, very cool looking. Love the way she drew Raisha. I think you'll enjoy the characters when you hear about them in my narration, if you listen to my narration. Then we have a couple more illustrations here. So this is Sheila's armor, crossbow, and sword. Very, very cool. I'm glad I added these to the book. This was a later edition. And then we have here is the village of Duran. I drew this many years ago, and glad it transferred over to the book. It looks better in this sharper image. So that's where the party begins. The story begins in the village of Duran. Here is a key to the village, which I decided I'm going to include this in the book too, so everybody can see all the different shops that are in the village. And I drew this map with colored pencils on graph paper probably 20 years ago, long before the story was even in my mind. This whole story was originally just going to be my D&D campaign that I was working on. And later on, when I was unable to run my campaign with the people that I wanted to run it to, I decided to see if I could turn it into a story. So I created 8 characters and just started writing it as a story, making it go the way I wanted it to, which I found to be very enjoyable to do. So that is my book, Forestera's Fate, The Sacred Shrine, and the Valley of Caves. And here's the little synopsis on the back. Forestera is a world of my own creation where magic and monsters are real, and good and evil are in a constant struggle for survival. Because of this, some people dare to go adventuring, to fight back against the evil that dwells in the land, and to slay those monsters while finding treasures and acquiring power as they go. But when 8 people formed their own adventuring party to do just that, little did they know what fate had in store for them. Now, this is a 5-book series. I've been really struggling to write book 3. I'm hoping that I'll find the motivation to do it, but it's been a little difficult. Partly because my response to book 2 was even less than my response to book 1. My response to book 1 on YouTube was pretty good. Not very much with book 2, and I was a little surprised at that. Although the young kids who read both books enjoyed both of them a lot. Actually, the 9-year-old, who's now 10, said he liked book 2 even more. So that was nice to hear, because I was a little concerned when I wasn't getting hardly any responses on YouTube. But I hope you'll at least listen to the narration, listen to my introductory video. It's kind of like a session zero. One of the reviews on Amazon said that this book reads like a great gaming session. I thought that was awesome. Another said it reminded him of the good old days with Beckme. That was really nice. And I'm now actually Facebook friends with that guy. I'm Facebook friends with all the people who left. The three of them were my friends, but they wrote what they wrote. I didn't tell them what to write. I didn't even know the one was going to write the review. He just did, and he said, "Hey, I just left you a review," so pretty cool. But I also like what the other two people wrote too. They're all nice reviews, and of course they're going to give me 5 stars. They're my friends. But the one guy who reminded him of Beckme, he didn't know me. He bought the book because the YouTube channel, The Dungeon Minister, who listened to my book, and his 2 of his 3 sons have read my book. When I sent him a copy of book 2, he decided he'd make a video about my 2 books, and I think that's where the one guy purchased it and read it. He said he's going to start reading book 2 real soon. So I hope you'll listen to the narration, and by all means, I'd love it if you guys would buy it, but I understand if you don't want to spend that kind of money. But the black and white images is just $23. And this is a big book. It's 8 by 11, and 66 bucks is a lot, but I just wanted to show off those beautiful illustrations because the high res really is nice. The low res is okay. Here's another, I'll give you a comparison. So that's how Joe Grath looks without the high resolution. So it's still good, still nice. The black and white obviously isn't as good. Let me just see if I can grab a black and white illustration real quick if I just thumb through it. Yeah, here we go. So there's Shinfia in black and white. It's still fine. It's better in color. So this one is just $23. So it's totally that one's a good deal, obviously. Anyway, nervous energy here. I always feel nervous talking about my books. Hope you check them out. I'd love to chat with all of you in the comments in my narration. I really enjoyed narrating my book. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'll talk to you all later, hopefully. Bye-bye.